This is the Oral-B Kids 3 Plus electric toothbrush. I've been putting it through its paces and I'm here to give you my opinion on it. So let me jump in straight to the verdict on this electric toothbrush then. Designed for kids, this is a perfectly satisfactory product. It does the job it needs to, and it does it at a fairly good price point as well. However, I do think that the Philips Sonicare Kids electric toothbrush is a little bit better for both children and parents alike. You're likely going to spend a little bit more, but I think the overall package on offer from the Philips Sonicare is a bit better and more refined. That said, still a very good toothbrush and it serves the purpose it was designed for. So let's take a look at some of the pros and cons then for the Oral-B Kids 3 Plus electric toothbrush. So, starting with the pros, we've got a small round brush head which makes it nice and easy to clean the teeth. It's nice and small, so it's easy to move around a child's mouth. And the small oscillating, rotating action is proven to be very effective. We've got a nice grippy brush handle, so it should be nice and comfortable in the hands of children. We've got a built-in timer and pacer to encourage kids to brush for the dentist recommended 2 minutes. Depending on the variant that you actually pick up, more on that in a moment, you do get some stickers included which attach to the brush handle. Again, led by the variant a little bit, this can be used in conjunction with a Disney Magic Timer app for helping kids brush for the recommended 2 minutes, because the app is engaging and it has stuff going on screen whilst they brush their teeth to encourage them to do a better job. And it's got just one single cleaning mode, so it's nice and effective. Nothing too complicated for kids or parents to get used to. So looking at some of the cons then, well, you've got multiple designs of this electric toothbrush. I'll explain a little bit more on that when it comes to the variants in a few moments time, but there are differing designs of how this toothbrush actually looks, so it's not as simple as just one design suitable for all kids. The battery life is limited. It lasts just 8 days. There's no battery status information on the handle, so you don't know when the battery is running out. You don't even know if it is charging correctly either. There's no Bluetooth connectivity built in. That might sound like overkill, but what it basically means is it doesn't pair with the Disney smartphone app that is available to use alongside this toothbrush, so there's a discrepancy there. And ultimately, whilst it's perfectly satisfactory, I think there are better options such as the Philips Sonicare for Kids toothbrush that I mentioned previously. So I want to talk more about the details of this brush and what it's like to use on a daily basis, but before I do, I just want to mention a bit more about the design and varying styles and variants of this. Now, this information is correct at time of recording, but it is subject to change. So basically, in the US, there's 5 different designs of the Oral-B for Kids 3 Plus electric toothbrush available. Now, the variant I've got here is called Super Tooth, so it's like a super character, as you'll see sort of on the box here, you know, you're kind of like a superhero. You then have options from Disney, including Star Wars, Toy Story, a Disney Frozen, and a Disney Princess. And all of them, with the exception of this Super Tooth variant, come with stickers that go around the bottom of the brush handle. So there's kind of different designs, as I've mentioned, and all of the different Disney ones come with stickers wrapped around the brush head as well. So that's another small difference. So just to be aware, the variance is there. Technically, they all work the same. They clean the teeth basically the same as each other. They just look different. You know, they've still got the same features built in. Another very small thing to note is, adding even more confusion, certainly at the time of recording, is this Super Tooth version is the one that I've bought for review here. And you can see it in this design. But there's an updated version. Well, I say updated, a slightly different version, and it depends on where and when you buy this as to what design you actually get. Now, this is more like the design, the alternative design. Now, this one's got a black rubber grip. This is just for demonstration purposes. The other Super Tooth variant has a blue rubber grip. But what you can see, whilst principally the overall shape and profile is the same, you've just got a bit of different design on the handle. You've got this grip that runs full 360 degrees here on this updated version, whereas this other version, it only runs sort of on the back and sides. It's just a little bit different aesthetically. So that's another thing to bear in mind between these brushes. So let's get into the details then. It's a perfectly functional toothbrush. It works really well. You've got this sort of tapered design to the handle, which is nice and comfortable to hold in hand. Slightly thicker at the top than it is at the bottom. The grips on the rear or running all the way around the handle make it nice and easy to hold on to, especially for kids who might find the gloss plastic body a bit slippy. This large expanse of rubber grip really helps. The simple one cleaning mode works really well. It gives a good overall clean to the teeth thanks to the small round brush head. This is easy to maneuver around the teeth, particularly in the smaller mouths of children. It cleans to a very good standard. There are different designs of or styles of brush heads available from Oral-B, but provided you get a sensitive brush head included in the box, so that means you get nice soft bristles which are going to be nice and gentle on your children's teeth and gums, and I would generally recommend sticking with this brush head. Should be replaced every 3 months on average, sooner if the bristles are showing obvious signs of wear or damage. These blue bristles on the side of the toothbrush will fade more to a translucent white colour when the brush head is essentially wearing out, so it fades slowly over a 3-month period. Once the brush is turned on, it does activate the timer and pacer, so as you're probably aware, it's recommended that adults and children alike brush their teeth twice a day for 2 minutes. And during that 2-minute cycle, as best as possible, you want to ensure that you cover all the teeth evenly. So at 30-second intervals, there's a pause in the brush head speed and motion, and that's the warning of the quad pacer, and you should help your child move from one quadrant of the mouth at those 30-second intervals so they get a nice even clean. So that time is built in. At the end of a 2-minute cycle, there will be another change in sound and motion of the brush head briefly. It doesn't turn itself off, it does keep running, so you'll need to remember to turn the toothbrush off at the end of that 2-minute cleaning cycle. Now, alongside these Oral-B Kids 3 Plus electric toothbrushes, some of the variants are those Disney ones, and although this Super Tooth variant I'm holding isn't a Disney one, it can still be used in conjunction with a free app that is available for Android and iOS. It's called Disney Magic Timer for Oral-B, and basically it's a smartphone application that can be customized to match the style of the toothbrush you've got. So for example, if you've got the Frozen themed brush, you can theme the app to be Frozen theme, and then there are characters on screen. And the whole idea is the app helps encourage children to brush better and for longer, and Oral-B have evidence to suggest that their app really helps with that. Now, a pro and a con is that the toothbrush itself does not communicate with the smartphone. There's no Bluetooth connectivity. So that makes the brush cheaper to buy in the first place. The downside is basically you have to start the toothbrush and the app off independently. So it could be very easy for the child to just run the smartphone app for 2 minutes and never even switch on the toothbrush. But when it is running, you can kind of use them side by side. Your kid's probably going to have to hold your smartphone unless they've actually got their own, so do be aware of that. But it counts down on screen and kind of tries to give them the areas of the mouth to brush. So it's an educational experience. It's designed to make it a little bit more fun, and they can unlock stickers, the data is logged within the app, and it's all designed just to be a bit more enjoyable for the younger generation. So this toothbrush is designed for kids aged 3 plus. You're typically going to want to use this for kids aged 3 through to about 7. That said, this brush head provided, this sensitive brush head, is a typical adult sized brush head, so even as adults we can actually use this. Despite the fact it's kind of labelled for kids, it still works. The Disney Magic Timer app is of course optional, you don't have to use that, so even as an adult, if you like the idea of this toothbrush, you can use it. Something I don't think I did mention is this power button. Provides a nice tactical feedback. It's a little bit spongy, and when the brush is on, you can hear it makes quite a loud mechanical sort of sound that's typical of all Oral-B brushes, just to make you aware it is quite noisy. Now, built into this toothbrush is a rechargeable battery. It's a nickel metal hydride battery. It's not lithium ion, which is what some people desire. I'm not going to go into all the differences here. The built-in battery should give you approximately 8 days of use on a full charge. So that's 16 cleaning sessions based on 2 cleans per day, each of 2 minutes in length. In my hands-on testing, I actually managed 10 days, so a little over the suggested 8, which is a positive. The downside is there's absolutely no information here to tell you when the battery is running flat, or if it is indeed charging. There's no battery status icon on the front of the brush handle, so it's very easy to get to a point where the battery on this is about to run out and you don't even know it, and of course the toothbrush just slows down and eventually dies until you recharge it. And then even when you do place it on the provided charging stand, you don't actually know it's charging because there's no indicator to show you the power's coming through. A 2-pin charging stand does come provided, works on 110 to 130 volts. When you do sit the toothbrush on it, it can take up to 16 hours to fully charge this electric toothbrush. It's perfectly safe to leave it sat on there. The electronics will cut out once the brush is fully charged, and you can take it off sooner if you need to use it sooner as well. So when it comes to the price of this toothbrush for kids, prices do vary depending on when and where you buy it. I'm trying to give you the most accurate pricing information at the time of recording. Now, the Disney themed brushes do retail at a slightly higher price than the Super Tooth variant I have here. The recommended retail price of the Disney variants is $39.99 US. However, the typical selling price is nearer $35, so there's a few dollars to be saved there. Now this Super Tooth variant actually retails at $29.99, but actually can generally be purchased for around about $20. So this is quite a bit cheaper to go for the Super Tooth variant, and I imagine that has something to do with the licensing cost of the Disney brand on these toothbrushes. Cost of replacement brush heads are typically about $5 per time. You should replace them every 3 months. Sooner if the bristles are showing obvious signs of wear. So one of the things we like to do here at Electric Teeth is price an electric toothbrush over a 3-year period to give you a little bit of benchmark of what it will actually cost. Now this Super Tooth variant, as the slightly cheaper option, will cost on average around about 7 cents per day over 3 years. Now if you compare that to the Philips Sonicare Kids equivalent, it's a lot cheaper. In fact, the Philips Sonicare variant is about twice the price at roughly 14 cents per day. Does offer a bit more and potentially longer term could be the better value option because of what it offers for you as a parent and kids. However, this is still a very good value toothbrush, all things considered. So putting aside some of the faults and some of the confusion around the number of variants that actually exist of this electric toothbrush, overall, it's very good. It's very good value for money and provides a nice option for your kids. It can potentially help them with their oral health because the faster or increased movements that you get through the electric toothbrush compared to a manual toothbrush could really help benefit your kids' teeth. I do think though that there are some oversights in this toothbrush, notably the lack of battery status information, and that is where products like the Philips Sonicare for Kids toothbrush can stand out as the better buy, even though it's more expensive, because not only does it give you battery information, has a longer battery life, has Bluetooth connectivity and an app that works closer to the toothbrush itself rather than being independent. But you need to weigh that up and what's important to you and your children's. But overall, a good value electric toothbrush that will certainly serve you well for some time. If you found this video useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, click subscribe. But until next time, thanks for watching.